With Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang now 32 years of age and his decline in an Arsenal shirt clear as day, Arsenal look set to sign a brand new centre forward. But let's find out if they will make an offer for Everton's number 9 Dominic Calvert Lewin. Also, how close is Granit Xhaka to returning to full fitness, and will Mikel Arteta drop Aubameyang going into the Everton game? As per, let's find out in the latest Arsenal news today. Yo, what is going on guys? My name is Babs14 and welcome back to your boys channel. It's a massive gargantuan game tomorrow, your boys, excited and nervous at the same time. Arsenal, please get the win. But make sure to go down there and smash a like on the video if you guys enjoy, and also do subscribe to your boys channel if you guys are new. But let's get into the Arsenal news, and let's start off with Dominic Calvert Lewin, who is going to be Arsenal's brand new centre forward. It's the cash money question. Now of course, in terms of one report target, you've got Dusan Vlahovic. I've also heard reports of Alexander Isak being linked to an Arsenal transfer as well. But for me, what Arsenal proved in the last transfer window was they are not scared to spend money on Premier League and English talent. Just look at Aaron Ramsdale and look at Benjamin White. So with Arsenal not scared to spend on English Premier League talent, could they now turn to a certain Dominic Calvert Lewin? Well, according to the very reliable David Maddock of the Mirror, Arsenal are ready to target Dominic Calvert Lewin as a replacement for Alexandre Lacazette. The England striker is a long-term target for the Gunners. A reliable English source confirming there and there that Arsenal indeed have interest in Dominic Calvert-Lewin. You also have Paul Joyce of the Sunday Times. Arsenal wants Everton's Dominic Calvert-Lewin in the next summer. Yet another reliable English source. Now in terms of the timing of the reports, they are very key, because of course in terms of Arsenal, we play Everton on Monday tomorrow. There's a massive game there, and even though Dominic Calvert-Lewin isn't fit and he's not going to play, the fact these reports are coming out, whose side is it coming from? Is it Arsenal feeding news into the agents to get Arsenal fans excited, or is it the agents of Dominic Calvert-Lewin and his people giving news to the media? And even the Mail are reporting that Arsenal have targeted Dominic Calvert-Lewin and would like him to spearhead the next phase of the development. The question would be whether they could meet the inevitably high huge transfer fee, possibly beyond £60 million that Everton would demand. For me, I think Arsenal are more than capable of doing it, because in terms of this upcoming transfer windows, Arsenal don't have that many positions to address. Potentially a brand new midfielder, maybe a striker as priorities, whereas last summer Arsenal needed a goalkeeper, a right back, a centre back, a central midfielder, and even then they were able to spend £50 million of Ben White, another English Premier League talent. They will pay the premium if they believe the player is worth it. This video has been kindly sponsored by the guys at OneFootball. OneFootball is the app when it comes to staying up to date with the beautiful game. Now whether that be staying up to date with the latest transfer news, maybe staying up to date with the team's latest fixtures, or even things like lineups, goal alerts and live match updates. To put it simple, if you are a fan of football, you need OneFootball. Well, that sounds amazing, Babs, but how much does this app cost? Well, this is the beauty of OneFootball. You can access all their great features for the price of absolutely nothing. Yes, the app is available for free, and so make sure to hit the first link down below in the description and download the OneFootball app. Not only do you guys get access to a great app, but you're also helping your boys channel out massively, so for that, a gargantuan thank you from me to you. And so when it comes to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, not only is he already an England international, 24 years of age, he's entering the peak of his powers. Not only does he fit in terms of Arsenal's age profile they are targeting, but the fact that he also has 4 or 5 full Premier League seasons also under his belt, he has the right amount of experience. And in terms of the last 2 years in the Premier League, double figures, 13 goals in 1920 and 16 goals in 2021. But ever since 1920, I've seen more of the killer instinct in his game, and I'm really a fan of it. And also in terms of height and power, he has a good amount of pace, but he's very strong and he's very good in the air. In fact, aerial ability is one of his strengths. And so in terms of Arsenal wanting a technical striker with hold-up playability, Calvert-Lewin does fit a lot of the bills. And also in terms of mentality, I do see a player here who seems to be a bit of a player who doesn't really care what's happening around him. Whereas in terms of Aubameyang, as great as a player as he is a bit more of an introvert, a player who doesn't want the pressure when the going gets tough. But in terms of price tag, £60 million and the fact that he's Everton's main man, I just don't see Everton selling him as soon as the January transfer window. Talking about January transfers, Mikel Arteta says, we have to focus on the players we have, try to make them better and take more chances than we're doing, because we need more margins in games to win games. And that's what we have to do without losing our solidarity defensively, and try to add more goals. Even what Arteta is saying there, it doesn't fill me with confidence that Arsenal are going to go into January and spend big. And also the fact that Arsenal have quite a few players that might want to leave, make point than Niles, Eddie and Nketiah, they're gonna be already very busy. But as they have proven in the past, of course, the signing of Aubameyang himself, Arsenal can spend big money in January. But even in that transfer window, it was only after Arsenal let go of Alexis Sanchez, then they signed Aubameyang. And so the fact that I don't see any massive departures as soon as the next transfer window, I just don't see Arsenal signing a player the price tag of Calvert-Lewin as soon as the January transfer window. But what do you guys make of Dominic Calvert-Lewin? Let me know your own thoughts down below on the striker. Is he the player that you guys want to see Arsenal sign? And if so, should that be in the January transfer window? Talking about transfers, let's talk Dejan Kulusevski, because according to reports in Italy, Arsenal and Tottenham really like Dejan Kulusevski a lot, but Juventus will evaluate a possible departure only if a offer is deemed adequate. Arsenal are once again get linked to Dejan Kulusevski of Juventus, a Swedish international, and as your boy keeps on saying, he is a winger. And do Arsenal need another winger? Is that Arsenal's priority position? Arsenal have Bukayo Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe, Gabriel Martinelli and even Nicola Pepe. In terms of Kulusevski, he would cost upwards of 20-30 plus million pounds, because that's what Juventus paid for him in the first place. But he just isn't a priority signing that Arsenal need to be making. For me, central midfield and striking positions are far bigger priorities, especially in the upcoming transfer window. But if you guys agree or disagree with your boy, make sure to voice your concerns down below in the comments. According to reports in Germany, Arsenal are in contact with the representatives of Gladbach midfielder Dennis Zakaria and are more concrete in their interest. Arsenal wants Zakaria, 6 months left on his contract, on a free transfer next season, but it could depend on European football. But in terms of Arsenal next summer, I think Arsenal could sign a big central midfielder, because even in terms of Granit Xhaka, even after they signed that brand new contract, I still have doubts of his long-term Arsenal future. I wouldn't be surprised if Xhaka was to once again want to move away from Arsenal in the next summer transfer window. And so if that was to be the case, do I want to see Dennis Zakaria as Arsenal's standout midfield signing? I just don't see it. But it's the fact that he has 6 months left on his contract, a free potential transfer, that is the appealing point here for Arsenal Football Club. And don't get it twisted, if Arsenal were to sign Zakaria, I think he'd be a good, almost squad option. But is he a first team improvement, the level that Arsenal require to compete with the best teams in the Premier League? Personally, I just don't think so. But here's the question for you guys to answer down below in the comments. In your own personal opinions, what central midfielder do you guys realistically want to see Arsenal sign in the January transfer window? Give me some juicy names, as I want some good scouting reports. Okay, then moving on to Arsenal versus Everton. This game was massive in the first place, but after the defeat at Old Trafford, this game has become gargantuan, and a game for me that Arsenal simply have to and must win. But let's get into the Arsenal team news. And starting off with Granit Xhaka, as Arsenal have confirmed that he has made excellent progress recovering from his medial knee ligament injury. Back in full training, his availability is also being assessed ahead of the game. So Arsenal have confirmed that Granit Xhaka is now officially back in full training, and also confirmed that his availability is being assessed ahead of the game. Now, by no means do I see Xhaka starting, but at the same time, Xhaka is well ahead of schedule. In fact, initially he was meant to return towards the end of the year and the start of January. And even though a lot of people have questions over the player of the years in terms of his fitness, this guy is a freak. This guy is not human. And even though I believe this Everton game comes a little bit soon for him, make no mistake my friends, the return of Granit Xhaka is well and truly imminent. But what do you guys make of Granit Xhaka's return, and how important do you guys think he is to the Arsenal midfield? And in terms of other team news, Emil Smith-Rowe and Bernd Leno are both being assessed after suffering tight groins. Look, I love ESR, but ever since the last international break, I think Smith-Rowe's overall performances have just dropped a little bit, and ultimately I do believe that's a bit more down to fatigue. But in terms of this game, if he isn't fully fit, he's not a player that I want to risk. And of course, he plays for Arsenal as a left winger. Arsenal could play a certain Gabriel Martinelli there instead. On to the Everton team news. Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Tom Davies are both out of the Arsenal match through injury, whereas Yerry Mina picked up a hamstring injury in October, has now recovered and returned to full training. And Andre Gomes is available for selection after recovering from a calf problem. So the potential return of Yerry Mina and Andre Gomes. But in terms of the talisman, their main man, their main go-to player, that is of course the player that we have already discussed in this video, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. The fact that Everton are going into this game without him is going to be a gargantuan blow for their team. But in terms of the Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta, how exactly is he going to line up going into this game? Who exactly is he going to drop? Well, I think we're going to see a 4-2-3-1 formation with Ramsdale in goal, Tomiyasu White, Gabriel and Tierney back four, Lokonga and Partey in midfield, Odegaard, Martinelli and Saka behind the strike, and Alexandre Lacazette. There is a lot of changes there, some very controversial controversial. In terms of Tavares or Tierney, as much as I think Tavares has done alright in his time, KT is now fully fit, is available. I think it's time to give Tierney a run back in the first team. In terms of central midfield, the fact that Partey is starting, a lot of fans are going to be very angry about it, but an Arsenal team which is already very young, I just don't see Arteta dropping a main player like Partey, who's so experienced in the first place. And in terms of the three behind the centre forward, I have gone for Pele's godson Gabriel Martinelli over Smith Rowe, as not only do I not want to risk ESR, but I also believe that Martinelli deserves to start. And yes, indeed, in terms of the striker, I have dropped Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, going for Alexandre Lacazette instead. But in terms of the main thing, the goal scoring ability, the chances this guy is missing on a consistent basis, even though he is the captain of the club, I would go for Lacazette instead. Regardless though, my friends, let me know your own thoughts on your own personal Arsenal predicted lineups. Would you guys drop the Arsenal captain in Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang? Okay, then let's move on to the other Arsenal news today. And starting off with a positive, and the Arsenal star boy, I'm talking you, Bukayo Saka. As it's been confirmed, the previous Ballon d'Or winners Ronaldinho and Rivaldo both included Bukayo Saka in their top 3 for this year's Copa Trophy, as well as Barcelona icon Stoichkov also included the Arsenal winger in his top 3. Legends in the game, and Ronaldinho and Rivaldo both giving Bukayo Saka their cosign. That, my friends, there is beautiful scenes. But in terms of Bukayo Saka, as much as your boy loves the player, one thing that I think he needs to improve on is his overall goal scoring ability, because in terms of the final third, he often gets himself in the right positions, but when it comes to the final action and pulling the trigger, I believe that Saka is not only very indecisive but also very inconsistent. But regardless, at 20 years of age, I do believe he'll come with time and experience. Mike Dean has been appointed as referee for Monday's game for Arsenal against Everton. In terms of referees, Mike Dean is very hit and miss when it comes to Arsenal, but overall, which referee isn't? But hopefully in terms of this game, unlike the last game, VAR isn't used for Arsenal's penalties, because in terms of last game, I still can't get over it how the Tomiyasu not get a penalty from Harry Maguire pulling it. In terms of Everton's manager Rafa Benitez on Mikel Arteta, he says, he is an example of a manager at a new club who needed time and everyone was talking about. We need to give him time. And now he is collecting the prize for that. So praise there from Rafa Benitez towards Mikel Arteta. And he's praising the patience that Arsenal fans are giving towards Mikel Arteta. But at the same time, in terms of that patience, if Arsenal weren't to get the win tomorrow, I am sure a lot of Arsenal fans, including the boy, are going to have a lot of questions for the Arsenal manager, especially given the form that Everton are in. Because in terms of their last 8 Premier League games, they have 6 losses and 2 draws. In horrific form and also in the bottom half of the table, pressure is definitely on Rafa Benitez to perform. And the fact that Arsenal are also now 7th in the Premier League, this is as must win as a game as it gets. And for me, in terms of Arsenal and Mikel Arteta and the Arsenal players, there are simply no excuses whatsoever for Arsenal not to get all 3 points. But as always, my friends, let me know down below in the comments, what are your Arsenal versus Everton score predictions? But that is the video there. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to go down there and smash a like on the video, and also do subscribe to your boy's channel if you guys are new. Also, if you want to follow your boy on them social medias, then the links will be down below in the description. But that was the latest Arsenal news today. Yes, you got Dominic Calvert Lewin, but for me, the focus is all on tomorrow. Everton, it's a must-win game, so Arsenal get the win, and I will see you guys next time in a bit.